Welcome to this episode of Locked In. If you're looking to easily take off 50 to 100 grams off of your bike for only $25 to $40, please stay tuned. So in this video, I know that sounded a little bit of clickbait, but it is honestly true. I'm gonna be doing a full review of the Tubolito range of tubes. These are super lightweight tube options for any basically style of bike, from road, mountain, gravel, and even BMX. So if you're looking to simply take some weight off an area you may not have thought about, this is the right video for you. So in this video, I'm going to go over the quick specs and features of the range of Tubolito tubes that I'm going to be reviewing. I have actually purchased these tubes prior to this video, but I reached out to Tubolito and let them know that I wanted to create a review and I wanted to show off the gamut of products that I think would be great for my subscribers. And this is what they sent over, and I wanted to show you guys each individual one and go over the weights of each, show you the size comparisons and weight savings that you can potentially have for any of the bikes that you do own, as well as price and my final thoughts. So let's bust into the full range of Tubolito tubes. Now granted, this is not every single tube that they do create. I didn't need all of them since there are some tube sizes and widths that I don't currently own. So you can definitely check out in the links below their website and look at all the range they do offer. They definitely are gonna have something that's gonna fit whatever tire size you're currently running. Before I show off the full range, I'm gonna get into a little bit of the perks of running Tubolitos, and the main three things that really stand out to me are: one, the weight. They are typically 2/3 of the weight of a normal tube. They're supposed to decrease rolling resistance when using them, as well as the pack size of these, especially in the bigger volume tube sizes that you are going to be replacing. So no matter what tube you're getting, obviously that weight savings is going to vary depending on how big you're going, but these can be used as your standard tubes in your bike at all times. And if you don't believe me, ask Francis Cade, because I'm pretty sure he's still running these as his regular tubes in his road bikes, as far as I know, because I do watch his videos and I know that he really recommends these. So there's some proof there as well. Now let's get into each of the individual tubes that they sent over. First off, they sent me their city range tube. This is going to be a little bit more robust than their other tubes that they do offer. So this isn't going to be the lightest weight or most packable option, but this is going to cover your 30 to 45 centimeter 700C tire. And again, your city tire, you probably want a little bit more puncture resistance, so that's going to be an option for you. Now, if you don't need to go all the way up to a 47 and you want a 30 to 40 millimeter tire size option, then you can simply go to their gravel or CX tube. This is going to be a little bit lighter. It does have a little bit less puncture resistance, but it does come in a 60 mil option of valve. So if you are running a deeper section wheel, this is going to be a great option for you. And as you can see there, it's rated at 55 grams for this tube. Now, the other two tubes that are going to be basically very similar are going to be the mountain bike and the mountain S tube. Basically, these are going to be the same tire size ranges at 29 inch with a 1.8 to 2.5. They do make an S version. The S version is lighter weight. It does have less rolling resistance, as well as it does have a removable Schrader valve, which is a lot nicer for packability as far as these tubes go when including them into your saddle bag. And then lastly, the big fatties that are going to be run and that I'm carrying with me on my Poseidon X is going to be a 27.5 by 2.5 inch to 3 inch. Again, the differentiating factor of the S versus the Plus is the weight and a little bit of puncture resistance, as well as the removable valve. And there is a little bit of a price premium for the S models, which will lead me directly into price. These are going to vary between $24.80 to $37.90. And I know, before you say anything, I know that's expensive for tubes, but in my use for these, and I have used them on a bike, this is the tube that I would want to carry with me at all times when running tubeless, because they are very lightweight, very minimal, and easy to pack into any size saddlebag. And if you're doing a long haul, especially if you're running something crazy like a 2.5 inch to 3 inch tire, trying to carry two tubes, this is a lot of weight and a lot of space to try to just make room for on a bike. So is it worth that extra money for it in that scenario? I think so. And if you get a flat on your Tubolito, they have a simple, easy kit right here that you can use to patch it, because obviously it's different than a standard rubber tube. So it has its own patch kit, which is simply going to be alcohol swabs and these patches. All you have to do is clean the affected area, then stick on this patch just like a sticker and let it sit for about 5 minutes before reinstalling the tube. Now in a pinch, not gonna lie, you could totally use this as a tire boot depending on the size of the cut, but they don't recommend that. But in a pinch, I would definitely try it. So let's get into size comparisons and my final thoughts. So here is really where I mentioned in the beginning of the video where you can really save some weight and size. So this is really the reason that I wanted to get some of these. So carrying this tube on my Poseidon Redwood, you can see here that it is weighing in at 258 grams. Now, granted, that is with a strap, but I'm weighing it in my functional weight scenario because obviously, if you're gonna be carrying this, it's gonna be zip tied or rubber banded or something, so I'm including that as functional weight. Now let's open up this 650 tube that, again, is the exact replacement as far as the size. We are not diminishing that at all. So super minimal, and even their rubber bands that they use to carry these things are even super lightweight to add into it. So you're simply gonna remove this, fold up your tube here, throw the rubber band around it again so it's fair. And you can see there, 97 grams. So that alone, you can carry 2 of these and it's still less weight than 1 of these. And again, size-wise, yes, this is a little bit more heavy duty, but you can re-roll this down even further to a smaller form factor like this. And again, you could get the S model to bring this even lighter or farther down in any of the tube options that come in the S model. The other comparison that I think relates the most is your standard 35 to 45 mil 700C tube. This, even without the strap, I'll even go lighter weight for it to help it out, is 148 grams. And the Tubolito tube, again with its rubber band included, is 55 grams. So there's an easy 100 grams off your bike. Now for numbers sake, I know you're saying, oh, well, 100 grams, blah, 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 that's not so much. So let's get into my final thoughts. I really think that yes, these tubes are kind of pricey, but again, if you really think about the overall weight savings that you're gonna be paying for potentially on your bike, think about it. If you're going, let's say, to a carbon seat post or a carbon handlebar, you're gonna be spending hundreds of dollars for that, and it's probably gonna save you about 100 grams. And I just showed you how you can literally save about 150 grams depending on the size of tube that you're going with. And even for your standard gravel or all-road tire, you can still save almost 100 or a little bit over. So if you really think about it, this is kind of the best bang for the buck. And I know that's not technically bike weight, and it's not the sexy weight that you want when you put it on the scale, but it's functional weight. When you ride your bike, you don't ride it without pedals. You don't ride it without a bottle cage. You don't ride it without a saddlebag, unless you're just balling and you just bring your cell phone and just Uber your bike whenever you get a flat. But that doesn't work when you're on the trail. So if you really think about it, the overall weight for the bike, in my opinion, is functional weight, which means it is going to include your saddlebag with your standard assortment of tools and tubes or whatever system you use, your bottle cages, and your pedals. Now, I don't include water and other things like that, but that's what you're gonna have on the bike no matter what kind of ride you're gonna be on. So this is still lightening up your bike that much overall. And obviously, if you're still running tubes for your specific reason, these can still save you that kind of weight in your tire and wheel combination. So no matter how you slice it, it is gonna be saving a lot of weight for a very little bit amount of money. So yes, compared to itself in a standard tube, these are expensive compared to these. But if you really look at the overall weight savings and how much money you probably just spent on those carbon fiber bottle cages to save you 10 grams at best, you could have spent half that money and saved even more weight going with this option. So I'm really happy with these. I'm gonna be basically using all of these tubes on all of my bikes currently coming forward through this channel and my builds that I have hopefully coming soon on this. And these are my go-to tubes that I recommend to everyone because of the packability and weight savings, like I said. If you have any other questions, please make sure to comment below. I do check my comments every single day, as well as if you want to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, links are in the description. Please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already, as well as if you want to help support Locked In and pick up some cool Slow But Look Pro merch, or support me on Patreon. You can find all those links in the description as well. And lastly, thanks for watching another episode of Locked In.